G'day folks, it's DIY Guy 123 bringing you another do-it-yourself video. Today we're going to talk about flex pipes and how it's not always straightforward to change them. I've got a 2008 Mazda 3 and it has a bad flex pipe, and every other solution I found would include the exhaust manifold, the catalytic converter, and the flex pipe all as one unit. Depending on where I bought it, it would have been over $1,000 in some places. So I went online to search for a solution that can offer me the flex pipe that's the right length, which is not easy to find, and also the flange that goes to the further downstream components of the exhaust. I wanted that flange there already, and I did not want to do any welding. So I checked quite a bit on the internet and found only one solution at mufflerexpress.com, and I'm going to talk to you today about how to install that product. It'll be broken off. In my case, I couldn't just pull it away, so I had to use a die grinder to cut it off. This video is sponsored by mufflerexpress.com, and I appreciate their support. So they have the only product on the market I could find that allows you to do this type of repair without any welding. Let's do our unboxing. The product was ordered online and arrived in 5 business days. Well packaged and no issues on that. So here's the unit, and you can see I've got new exhaust hangers, which is awesome. That's a problem that I don't have to fix now. Flange welded on there. They mean business when they want to protect it. Now, in here, there's a muffler clamp that will be used on this end. There's a gasket which will be used on the flange end. And then they gave you a bung to plug off your O2 sensor if you don't need it. Now, the bung that's on my existing pipe on the car it's got an O2 sensor that's original. I don't want to take that O2 sensor out. I might destroy it getting it out. It's so corroded in there. So I'm not planning on using this bung. What I'm going to do is see if I can not cut this pipe at all and leave the original bung on the car, and that way I can leave this full length. If I have to, I may cut some of this off to make it fit. So next you're going to see me get at the car. Okay, so there's another look of the upper cat and then the down tube, and then there's the O2 sensor. I'm going to just see how that new part slides up in there. It slides right over the existing pipe. It needs to. It's a, it's a pretty, I wouldn't say a tight fit, but when you put a clamp on that, that's going to seal up nicely. Okay, now let's see how that looks. So right away, you can see rubber hangers probably won't work here. This is too much. So I'm going to have to do one of two things. I'm going to either have to cut this shorter, or I'm going to have to cut off right here outside this cat and then move my oxygen sensor into the new part. As mentioned, that's corroded. I'll probably try to avoid that. I'm going to be dry fitting this piece and determining whether I have to cut this off here or if I need to cut the other piece on the exhaust manifold. I'm sure it's intended that you would cut the piece coming down from the catalytic converter, but as mentioned, I don't want to interfere with the existing O2 sensor on that pipe. Okay, so here I am with the new part. I cut the bung off it, and you can see right there it slid over the old part. I did use a tail pipe expander, which I'll show you right here, to open up the pipe a little bit from where I cut it. If I hadn't cut it, I would have been sliding this piece on, which I know fits over smoothly. So I'm sure that the manufacturer flared this out a little bit, probably. Well, I suspect they did at the end to fit over the pipe to install the part the way it was intended. Got about an inch of overlap, and then I put the pipe clamp on, and you can see I've got it oriented so the nuts of the pipe clamp are facing towards the driver's side. That's so that if anybody has to take the O2 sensor out in the future, this clamp will not be in the way. I did not put any muffler cement on here. I don't think you need to. And if it leaked, I guess I could always take it off and put some muffler cement on there. So that's that end. Now on this end, I need to put the gasket in there. So I'll pull this apart and insert the gasket between there and then bolt it together and then put the new exhaust hanger rubbers on there. Okay, so we have the exhaust all installed, all these cross members here that provide rigidity for the body. That's all done. There's actually a missing muffler hanger that I welded on, and so that's taken care of. Hangers are on up here. A little tip when you're putting the rubber insulators on, put them on the bottom first because of the way they're angled. They slip on easy. Then slide them over the top horizontally. If you do it the other way, I don't know if they'll go on the other way. It's these bottoms are angled down like L-shaped. Really easy to put on if you do the bottom first, then the top. So, flex pipe is on. I have everything all torqued down, including that hose clamp. I already started the car, found out there was a small exhaust leak at this gasket right here, this flange. So I took it apart, put some cement, muffler cement on there, both sides of the gasket, put it back on, torqued it up. The instructions for that compound say to start the car for 5 minutes and then shut it off and let it sit for half an hour. So I did that and I came back, and after doing that I couldn't even stick my fingernail in the compound. It was so hard. So this project is done, and now what I would say is this extra part is really helpful in that you do not have to weld up at this flange. And that was something I really wanted to avoid. I did not have good access. I did not want to weld up here either. And with using my tailpipe expander, I was able to open this up enough to slide over my original pipe, which saved me a ton of work. So there you go. Good luck with your do-it-yourself project.